land is life.
Land is everything. Land is where we stay. From land is where we get food. From land is where we get shelter. So land is the mother of all of us.
In the African context, land represents identity, heritage, and livelihood. Yet the challenges surrounding land governance remain significant.
Quand il n'y a pas de gouvernance foncière, c'est des conflits, c'est des guerres, c'est aussi bien en milieu urbain qu'en milieu rural. Là, si on regarde autour de nous, toutes les difficultés que certains pays ont eues, je ne voudrais pas les citer pour ne pas les stigmatiser, si on regarde bien, en toile de fond, il y a quelque part une question d'appropriation, une question de conflit, une question d'acteurs qui revendiquent les mêmes espaces.
The African land issues are diverse.
The land issues we have within African context can be categorized one with current climate change, the governance that deals with land governance goes with legal context, but also institutional framework. And then we go into what we call land rights, women's land rights, customary land rights, regularization, that is land titling and land registration within African context.
With over 90% of the land in Africa held under customary tenure and without formal documentation.
Donc de telle sorte on connaît le problème du foncier, surtout pour les femmes qui n'ont pas accès à ça. Et on sait qu'avec les exploitations familiales, les agriculteurs, vous savez, ils occupent le terrain, mais les femmes, on les utilise plus, mais elles ne sont pas propriétaires.
In 2007, only 5 countries in Africa had comprehensive land policies. Recognizing this gap, the African Union initiated a transformative journey. The Network of Excellence on Land Governance in Africa, or Nelga, was born to address the continent's capacity gaps in land governance.
So we realized that the policy framework itself was very non-existent, and we needed to work with a lot of the member states to help them to develop their land policies.
We did an assessment that identified the importance of knowledge for policy making and evidence, as well as the role of universities and centers of excellence. And we identified that we had a gap in terms of knowledge, in terms of capacities, human resource capacities, as well as in terms of knowledge exchange and exchange of best practices.
Through detailed assessments, Nelga identified key areas requiring intervention: knowledge generation, human resource capacity, and the exchange of best practices. The network collaborates with universities, research centers, and policymakers to bridge these gaps and foster innovation in land governance.
The role of the Network of Excellence is to build the capacities of member states, to be able to generate knowledge, to be able to train the right capacities to address the African land issues, but also to be able to promote exchange across regions of best practices as well.
Concrètement, l'un des acquis, je préfère commencer par celui-là, l'un des acquis à mettre en exergue, c'est la sensibilisation, et Nelga a progressivement tissé sa toile dans tous les pays et on sait ce que c'est. Dans les universités, ce concept nouveau a fini par prendre corps. Dans les administrations foncières et même universitaires et auprès de la société civile et du secteur privé, Nelga signifie quelque chose.
Oui, nous avons donc été associés aux activités de Nelga et nous avons pris beaucoup d'intérêt à siéger dans ces activités, sur le temps plus que au sein du réseau des parlementaires, nous avons une composante forte qui travaille sur les questions foncières, parce que nous avons en interne un groupe de travail qui a été mis en place, qui est dirigé par le sénateur Mama. Nous avons travaillé, comme vous le savez, le contexte camerounais est un contexte qui est fait de personnes déplacées dans le cadre de la crise au nord-ouest et au sud-ouest. Et donc nous avons travaillé sur les droits fonciers des populations déplacées du nord-ouest et du sud-ouest. Et au terme de ce travail, nous avons donc édité un document qui a été unanimement salué sur les droits fonciers des populations déplacées et qui a certainement contribué aussi à changer un peu la vision du gouvernement sur ces questions-là.
Most recently, we've conducted a study on the SDGs and how they are coping with land governance in Egypt.
Across the continent, Nelga members have contributed to policy processes in African Union member states. By connecting academia with policymakers, Nelga ensures that land policies are informed by evidence and research. It is more important than ever that policy decisions are based on sound research findings. Nelga universities and academic institutions play a key role here.
Incontestablement, nous garderons en souvenir notre policy brief que nous avons fait grâce à l'appui de Nelga. At the end of the day, comme les anglophones disent, nous sommes heureux de ce que nous avons fait avec eux.
By strengthening land governance systems, Nelga ensures that land rights are protected and utilized to benefit communities across Africa.
Nelga has done a lot in working in many countries. We engage the policymakers, we work with them, find the capacity gaps, we support them to develop those capacities. We hold advocacy programs to bring to the fore the importance of land to the social and economic development of Africa and member states, and therefore the need to pay particular attention to the land issues. We worked with Kenya on their land policy. We worked with them to also support, there was a particular issue of state land management where the Kenya government called on the African Land Policy Center to support them. So I went there and I supported them on their policy formulation processes, the workshops that they organized. We facilitated that policy. We worked with Zambia. At a point, Zambia was developing its land policy. And at a point, we heard that the chiefs were not very happy at all because the policy had been done without their active participation. So again, we went in there and provided support to them. We did a lot of advocacy and eventually the policy was brought back on track and now they have the policy. There are countries that we've also started some initiatives like the Gambia, which has no land policy at all. We've started processes of developing a land policy for them. The same thing in Liberia. Liberia, we supported the Liberia Land Commission, which is now a Liberia Land Authority, to also develop their policies and to move forward with the land governance framework in the country.
Nelga est allé plus loin, a organisé un atelier de renforcement des capacités des autorités traditionnelles. Les chefs ont davantage perçu ce que Nelga entendait par rapport à la gestion foncière. Et qu'entre les chefs et Nelga, il y avait pratiquement une vision commune. Et les idées étaient harmonisées au niveau de ce que nous, chefs traditionnels, réclamons dans la gouvernance foncière.
One shining example is Nelga's collaboration with Uganda. Together with the government and stakeholders, Nelga supported a national dialogue to evaluate the implementation of Uganda's land policy.
In this national dialogue, we had representatives from government, representatives from civil society, representatives from professional associations, and representatives from the academia. And from that discussion, we were able to generate policy recommendations which we submitted to the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, and these have contributed to the development of a new national policy, and now we have a draft national policy which also we are participating in discussing and improving. So our work with government, with support of Nelga, in terms of policy, is really a welcome endeavor.
Botswana has been undergoing a broad land management reforms. These reforms have resulted in key notable successes, especially on the review of the land policy and legislative framework. GIZ and Nelga partnership came into assistance by providing both the technical and financial resources to undertake the development of this land management strategy. The strategy has practical initiatives which will promote effective land utilization, in the process contributing to the national economic growth and the growth of the individual citizen in the rural Botswana.
Nelga also led us to a project where we were mainstreaming land governance in the National Agriculture Investment Plan, which led to the drafting of the National Agriculture Transformation Strategy and building on the revised National Agriculture Policy, of which we have seen a lot of improvements in the integrated land use, and which led to the 2019 also land use amendments, allowing for integrated land use in agricultural land as a result of the agriculture transformation strategy. Nelga as an institution has been quite helpful in bringing together experts in land governance. We've had workshops that we also build one another in terms of expertise, analysis of different land governance documentation, and also coming up with adopting African Union declarations in our different policies, formations and plans as well.
These efforts contribute directly to economic and social transformation, ensuring that land remains a source of empowerment for all.
Land initially belongs to the communities. It all centers around them. They are the greater beneficiaries because, you know, their livelihoods depends on land.
So if we are able to manage and administer land well, then we are likely to have sustainable development, but also we are likely to come out as better people.
And we as the African Land Policy Center are extremely happy with what has been accomplished so far, but we are hopeful for continuation of these programs, particularly through mainstreaming them in the programs of the universities and other centers of excellence as well.
Through policy engagement, capacity building and advocacy, Nelga is paving a way for a future where land governance in Africa supports sustainable development, protects rights, and creates opportunities for all.